Have you ever heard of the verse, God doesn't give us more than we can handle? Well, it's not actually a verse. In fact, the Bible says He doesn't allow us to be tempted beyond what we can bear, so that we might be able to find a way out. But in life, it's actually very possible that we have times where there is just too much for us to handle. And why is that? Well, for the unbeliever, it's an opportunity to realize their need for God. But it's not really that different for a Christian either. But let's talk today about the different ways God tests our faith and what that results in. Stay tuned. First, let's read Psalm 11, 4-7. The Lord is in His holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes see, His eyelids test the sons of mankind. The Lord tests the righteous and the wicked, and His soul hates one who loves violence. He will rain coals of fire upon the wicked, and brimstone and burning wind will be the portion of their cup. For the Lord is righteous, He loves righteousness. The upright will see His face. And so let's really focus on verse 5. The Lord tests the righteous and the wicked, and His soul hates one who loves violence. And if we read Genesis 22, 1-12, now it came about after these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham, and he said, Here I am. Then He said, Take now your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I will tell you. So Abraham got up early in the morning and saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, and his son Isaac. And he split wood for the burnt offering, and set out and went to the place of which God had told him. On the 3rd day Abraham raised his eyes and saw the place from a distance. Then Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey, and I and the boy will go over there, and we will worship and return to you. And Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and laid it on his son Isaac, and he took in his hand the fire and the knife. So the 2 of them walked on together. Isaac spoke to his father Abraham and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Look, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Abraham said, God will provide for Himself the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. So the 2 of them walked on together. Then they came to the place of which God had told him, and Abraham built the altar there, and arranged the wood, and bound his son Isaac, and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. And Abraham reached out with his hand and took the knife to slaughter his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. He said, Do not reach out your hand against the boy, and do not do anything to him. For now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. And so the first point today that we can see is that God tests the sincerity of our faith, like He did for Abraham, where He gave Abraham a son in a very old age, when Abraham wouldn't have been able to have any more sons, but it was part of a promise that Abraham would be the father of a nation and of many, many people, as numerous as the stars in the sky. And so Abraham believed this, and God was going to prove him that He would provide. Just as He provided the son for Abraham to fulfill this prophecy, He also will provide the way out for Abraham's son. And then the next point we can read in Job 13:15, it says, Though he slays me, I will hope in him. Nevertheless, I will argue my ways before him. And the second point, God tests our faith to increase it. So like with Job, all the things that Job went through, his faith was increased at the end. Just like with us, when we have tribulations and difficulties in life, when we come out of those finally, we can have more faith. 1 Peter 1:7 says, So that the proof of your faith, being more precious than gold, which perishes though tested by fire, may be found to result in praise, glory, and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. And so the third point about God testing our faith today, God tests our faith to affirm it, to remind us that we have faith and that we are truly trusting in Him. John 15:2, And every branch in me that does not bear fruit, He takes away, and every branch that bears fruit, He prunes it so that it may bear more fruit. God tests our faith to produce fruit. And one more. 2 Corinthians 11:23-28 say, Are they servants of Christ? I'm speaking as if insane. I more so, in far more labors, in far more imprisonments, beaten times without number, often in danger of death. 5 times I received from the Jews 39 lashes. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. A night and a day I have spent adrift at sea. I have been on frequent journeys, and dangers from rivers, dangers from robbers, dangers from my countrymen, dangers from the Gentiles, dangers in the city, dangers in the wilderness, dangers at sea, dangers among false brothers. I've been in labor and hardship through many sleepless nights and hunger and thirst, often without food and cold and exposure. Apart from such external things, there is the daily pressure on me of concern for all the churches. In Philemon 1:12, the Apostle Paul says, I have sent him back to you in person, that is, sending my very heart. So the fifth point today, when God tests the righteous, when he tests our faith, he tests our faith so that it will be a witness to others. And so we'll go back to Psalm 11:4-7 today, where we started. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes see, his eyelids test the sons of mankind. The Lord tests the righteous and the wicked, and his soul hates one who loves violence. He will rain coals of fire upon the wicked, and brimstone and burning wind will be the portion of their cup. For the Lord is righteous, he loves righteousness, and the upright will see his face. And so if you feel tested right now, if you feel like you can't possibly go on further, remember, this is for your good. And this is very similar to the process of gold, which is also talked about in the Bible, that when they find gold, they have to burn off the impurities. In the same way, these difficult times sometimes, or these tribulations or difficult circumstances can be kind of like a fire that God uses to burn away our impurities and to strengthen our faith, that we might be able to preach to others and share with others what he's done in our lives. I pray this finds you well. God bless, and see you soon.